Hello, everybody. Welcome back. RC on track. I got bored, so here we are. Spur gear replacement for your redcat blackout. Get this part off Amazon. There's what's going on. 55 tooth. It's a stock replacement. It's a plastic gear. This car actually belongs to my uncle, and he's 65 years old and likes to save every penny that he owns. So he bought the plastic one. I told him, hey, there's metal ones. He said, yeah, let's do the plastic one. So Amazon, thank you. And so we're gonna do a tear down. We got to tear down the the shock tower has to come off. The bumper needs to come off. The top A arms need to come off. Both these control arms, pitman arms, they need to come off. And then we will start unscrewing everything and re-establishing the spur gear. I'm going to go ahead and drop in this guy right here. We have a Dynamite DYN 1171 Horizon Hobby Inc. 20 turn. It's a brushed motor. If you saw how my uncle drives his RC car, you definitely know that slow is the way he likes to go. Because he's 65. Yeah. He can't even use his cell phone, like the dude just touch screen, and he starts pushing the button. Yeah, that's my uncle. So enough of that, and let's go ahead and get to this teardown. All right. Okay. Allen wrench, and it is a 2.5 millimeter that you'll be using. You want to take off this top plate that covers the spur gear, and there's a metal plate underneath it. I'm going to go ahead and pull all that first. And because I'm changing the motor, I'm also going to be taking out this cross member that runs across the chassis here. Alright, so let's take out the cross member first. It's the easy one. And then we'll get the right tool, because that, my friends, there we go. So I bought this right here from Amazon. This RC Allen kit. And the bummer about it is that the tip broke off that one. I'm going to return it because that's the most valuable asset right there out of this toolkit. Yeah, so there we go with that. Change this out. And there we go. Righty tighty, lefty loosey for those people who are new at taking things apart. Not in all. You do have reverse thread. I suggest that after you take an object off of anything that you're working on that's mechanical, go ahead and put the screws back into the piece that you've removed, so you don't end up using the wrong screw or end up losing them. Like when you run, I run a magnet across my floor after a couple of months, and you'll be amazed at the things that get lost, dropped in your garage. Underneath this tool bench is just like a cubby for stuff to get kicked underneath there. It's annoying, but for now it's what I got. And to anybody in the Humboldt County region, Humboldt County, California region, if you live in the area and you want to go RC, man, hit me up, message me. I'll meet you up somewhere and we'll go take cars out. It's kind of boring because of COVID, and everybody ran off. So hit me up. I'll gladly bring the T-Max out and eat up some dirt, and any new models I get. And you know, I'm doing a lot of pre-purchase videos for, you know, for the parents out there that don't know anything about the RC realm, and you know, I'm giving them a little insight on some of these toys. You know, I said it earlier, you know, I was mentioning the WL Toys rock crawler I got there. I wish I could remember the actual name on the box. Do I got the box still? I might have the box still. I'll get the name of that for you guys. But that white crawler from WL Toys is a perfect beginner car for anybody's age, especially the children. Man, they'll love it. They'll eat it up. I mean, my wife's not really even into it, and she got it. She likes it. All right, there's our cross member. One of the only metal parts on a stock redcat, other than the drive shaft here, and the gears I think are metal inside. So I'm pretty sure my memory serves me right. That. This. Okay. So keeping our parts together is a good way to, you know where it's at, for one, and then you set it out in stages so you know exactly how to put it back together. If you just throw it in a pile, you're gonna regret it later on in your work, because it'll just be junk. You get discouraged. Okay, now this is the dust cover for the spur gear that I'm pulling. This guy's right here. You got these screws here and here and here and here, and then underneath the shock tower there's 2 screws. So that's when you get to that point, and I'll walk you through it. We're gonna be pulling the pins out for these A-arms right here where they attach. You gotta pop the pin out and then it separates. Okay, all right, let's get to it. Oh yeah, and I didn't tell you the right tool size to be using here, so I'll stop with this one right here and give you guys the millimeter you'll either have to get out of the box or purchase, or if you're going to own these, you should know definitely how to work on them. Take it to the shop and you're paying for another car because they're like, oh, this is broke and this needs to be adjusted and you should buy this and buy that, and hey, buy all this shit too. And it gets expensive at the shop. You order off online, you don't have to buy out of the country. You can shop locally online. It saves you money because everybody knows that anybody on the internet's looking for the best deal they can get. And as soon as something gets popular, you better watch out. You better get it before it gets popular. As soon as it gets popular, the word gets out, man, it jumps in price. Okay, so you are supposed to be using a 2 millimeter Allen hex key, whatever you want to call it. I call it an Allen wrench myself because like one of those Allen screwdriver. But anyways, here we go. My son says I should be doing music overs and not talking to the people out there watching this. And I thought about that, but then you just see me taking apart something, you would have to guess. Why is he taking that off? Why is that happening? Well, that's why I'm talking to you, so you know. So you see here, on this dust cover I'm taking off, here's a perfect example of keeping track of your screws. So, if you mix these up, you're going to have a problem. See that? There's a big difference in size there, right? Okay. So keep your screws separated and remember where they go. And it's these easy steps that help you put your project back together. Especially if it's the first time you're taking something like this apart. You gotta keep some good logic about it, because if you don't, man, it's gonna creep up on you real fast. See, there's no way out of taking the A-arms off. I'm gonna try saving us a bunch of time and see what I gotta do. Okay, so there's a little Phillips screw back here on the A-arm. And I'll bring it into view. So here's the A-arm. Right there is the screw. Follow the tip of the driver. There's the screw. It's a little Phillips screw. So let's get a Phillips driver. And let's hope that zero, so it's a 3, a number 3. And you want to get it to go in between the muffler, in between the bumper mounts and the back of the bumper there. Yeah, so there you go. There's one side. Magnetic's cool because you catch your screws. You don't drop them and they don't roll across the floor and irritate you more, because this can get irritating. Especially when you line up your gear. Now, everybody has their own way of miking the gear, the slack in the gear, you know, because if you get it too tight, it ends up turning into a problem. It'll chew the gear up fast and wear it down real quick. You wear your motor real quick, overheat your motor, you know. And you overheat your motor, we all, you know, people are familiar, they know that it's going to cause other problems down the road. All right, so we got that. Now these little pins, we got to push those little pins out. And the tool to do that with is something that will fit into the slot where the pin's resting in there. So I'm using a little jeweler Phillips screwdriver. I'm putting it in there, and again, you use a nail or whatever. You just got to push the pin out. There's one there. Set that to the side. Then you can get to this back Allen bolt right here, or screw, excuse me. So we'll pop the other one, same thing. Push it all the way through. That one actually fell out for us, we don't have to dig for it. So we'll get that out of the way. There you go. Pop this A-arm off, like so. Check the axles while you got it open, because checking the axles will help you to ensure that they're straight and not bent. I've never cracked a metal axle, but I've definitely bent them severely bad. You want to make sure it's all intact. Looks good. So let's go ahead and get this dust cover off. Grab your 2mm Allen wrench and start turning out those two in the rear. And there's one, come on. And you'll notice these are long ones too, see that? So keep them separate. I'll probably tell you guys that 100 times in this video. I don't know if I'm upset when they break, the RC cars. You know, I'm upset when they break because the joy you get from using them. You know, if you're into it, and then you get irritated because you know you got to spend some money to fix it, and then you get more irritated because you know you got to take it apart and fix it. But what I've noticed is when I get into tearing it apart, I enjoy it again. I love tooling around with mechanical things. It's been my hobby, my personal hobby, to, you know, from cars to boats, just about everything out there I've tooled on and worked on. Okay, so we got those all out. Let's see if I'm missing something. Nope, so the dust cover should pop off. I'm just gonna grab a 5/64 of an inch screwdriver, a little tiny guy like that, and we're gonna pop this cap off. At least I think I am. I feel like I'm missing something here. Oh, that could be a pain right there. 1, 2. Oh yeah. There we go. Definitely missing something. Here we go. You got 2 that are offset from these 4 on the bottom plate. Take these 2 out. Same size, 2mm. There we go. And this would probably go faster if I broke the drill out and used it. I'm not going for speed on this video, just kind of detail it, you know. And then you'll notice these screws for the bottom are recessed, and that's so they sit down past the bottom plate of your RC car. If you got a screw sticking out past that and it's not, you know, up off the ground quite a bit and protected, they grind right off. Even on these, they grind right off. So you want to make sure they're all the way flush so they last longer. And if you ever see a screw that is getting to the point where it looks like it's not going to be able to come out of the car, that's when it's definitely time to change it up. All right. There's another one. Probably do a little bit of editing on, maybe not. Might edit, might not. I'm not good at it. I have to beg my son to do it for me, so not trying to be wise here. Oh, that was rough. Okay, so I only took one of these Pitman arms off, so I could do that, and that one sits over there like that. So this is a 2-piece cover. It has this metal backing plate. So be sure that you put it back together properly if it falls out. The plastic pieces like this here, they face down towards the chassis. All right. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and pop it off. I don't want to be somebody that says something and just didn't do it. So let's put the screws back where they go. 1, 2, 3. that little plastic backing thing just popped right off that metal, so be diligent. I don't think it's supposed to be popping off, but it doesn't. You know, it's just a washer. They probably messed up on their measurements or saved money in doing that. Okay, so the spur gear is exposed. Flip that like that. This is your spur gear. This is where everybody, when somebody says spur gear, that's what they're talking about. This gear right here drives the drive shaft, makes it transverse into the rear ends. Just like that. Alright, cool. And I forgot. We're going to have to take this whole thing off. The shock tower, everything has to come off. My bad. So let's go ahead and take this bumper off. We'll get faster with it here. Now, I'll grab my drill too, just to pick it up a notch so we can get through this. What I like to call my Black & Decker car wrecker. Don't put your screws in with a drill. It's not wise. If you do it or have done it, then you know. There's a little plastic piece on the bumper that's separated. It's a little keeper that goes across here. Don't lose it. If you're worried about losing it, you can just set it back on the car and leave it there. And I'm not worried about losing it. I got plenty of table room, so just set these two parts together like that so we know what's going on. And do I really want to take these shocks off? Yes, we really want to take the shocks off because they're really in the way. They have to go. All right. So the shocks on your redcat blackout, probably haven't said that enough. Anybody that's just chiming in and watching this video, they probably don't know. So redcat blackout is the car we're working on tonight. Alright, you got those little nuts right there that go on the back side of your mounting plate for your shocks. You want to make sure you don't lose those or you'll have a trip to the hobby shop or however you shop. And again, guys, this is just a how-to video on taking down this redcat blackout. We're swapping motor with this Dynamite 20 turn. And it's a brushed motor. It's in the RC realm known as, you know, boat anchor, one of those things, but not my car, so it's going into somebody else's stuff. So all right, so there's two screws left, one here, left and right. And I think that's all we got to do. Take this off. We don't even have to take the mounting plate off. Ooh. See, I'm scared when I open this, there's a messed up pinion gear inside my rear end. And the reason is our old track that we flattened out picked up tons of tree bark and debris into the cars. And when I just shook it out, this is what I'm talking about. So that kind of debris was getting tossed up into the cars. And if you don't have a sealed unit, you know, if your chassis doesn't have like a sealed case over it, it's filling up full of debris, and that causes you to have a breakdown, which can be the pinion gear in this case. And hopefully that's it. You know, hopefully that's all that's wrong, because you know, I was driving it. I don't want to have to pay for it. But the pinion gear, or the spur gear, now that was from being a pre-owned car that was bought. Okay, let me get some light on my situation. There you go, pops right on up. Put your shock tower mount and everything right there. So we'll put these two screws right here so we don't mix them up with those. Like that. Now I could fast forward this video and do all that stuff, but we're going through it together so that you know what each step is that's being taken to change what needs to be changed on this car. Okay, so the motor's coming out right now. So we're going to flip the car back over. All this stuff is dangling around, so pull your axles out so you don't lose those. Set those to the side like so. And so right here, this gear comes out. Look at that. So this is your ring gear right here on your differential, on your rear end of your vehicle here. Ring gear. And here's your hubs, that or your drive axles, some people would call it, you know. These go to your drive shafts, your axle shafts. There you go. Give it a little twist and listen. It should sound really good. If they're catching or if it's not turning right, you know, you broke it. Inevitably you broke it. I'm pretty sure these are upgradable, rebuildable. So I'd probably do that later on down the road. No, not sure what the outcome is for this redcat here, but so real quick, here's my problem with this car, one of them. What just came out? It's supposed to do that? No. It is not supposed to come out like that. Wow, this thing got chewed on. So weird stuff. Here's the gear, and if you look on the back, you see how it's notched out? That's because it slides over a pin that's supposed to be attached to this drive shaft. Now, if it's not stuck in that part of the cover, you know, it's a magic trick because I don't see it in there. It's not in there. So a pin came out of the drive shaft. So with that added to our mess of problems right now. Oh, I found it. I just found it. That's weird how that popped out. I'm looking at this washer, this weird flange washer here, and it looks to be destroyed. So I'll see what I can do. I'll improvise. That's one good thing about hobbying. So I suggest you pull this pin out and don't lose it, because if it just falls out, you're going to lose that little guy right there. So we'll put that with the part I just lost. Oh, there it is. There you go. Put that there. Put our pinion gear with it. We know where our stuff is. Alright, now let's go ahead and flip this chassis over, just like so. Now, there's 3 screws. 1, 1, 2, and 3. Leave these 4 alone. You don't need to mess with them. Just these 3. Okay, all right, let's get those out. And they're the same size as the others that came out, so I'm not scared to set them with each other. Unless the dimensions change, but they're not, so. All right, that should be our motor detached from the chassis. Go ahead and flip the car, and then we pick the motor up. Hopefully, oh, there it goes. Drive shaft popped out. Here's our motor. Now it is attached everywhere else. So let's go ahead and pull apart our spur gear first. Keeping the bearings stacked, there's a little washer that is on top of that bearing, so you don't want to lose that. Okay, and now you'll see the keeper pin is on the back side of this gear, so that means that you got to take out an Allen screw, which is placed right here. Now, I don't know if I can get this thing close enough to you guys now. There we go. There's the Allen screw right there. Okay, so we're gonna get that guy out. And then let's do that. Grab a drill. Ooh. Add a little Loctite on it. And that should pull off. It's going to be probably a little difficult at first. There we go. Inspect it. Looks good. Pull the bearing off. Drop out our spur gear. Alright. So, there you go. You got that little lock on there, that little C lock right there. You can't mix up which side of the gear goes where because it's notched out only on one side for the pin. So let's go ahead and take out this little clip. Pop off the spur gear. If we can. Oh. That's not good. Hopefully it goes in easier than it came off, because I'd hate to have to beat up a new one, you know what I'm saying? This is crazy. You don't want to damage that pin by hitting on it. You know, I was tapping on it pretty lightly, but if you start burring out the end of that pin, you're going to have another problem. Okay. So it's pretty easy to see that this is notched out for that C-clip, drilled out for the pin that holds the back of the gear. Okay, and then it's got another pinhole there, and that is for this piece, which turns your drive shaft. This spur gear, it doesn't look that bad on camera right there, but right here it's flat. It got flattened pretty good. There's a couple teeth right there that are just chewed up. So that's why it's getting changed, because it is done. Could we go further with that gear and just burn it up, you know, and just keep going with it? Yeah, we could have. In doing that, it prolongs the inevitable, and you can't stop the inevitable from happening unless you change it. And it is a tight-fitting gear. So I got my pin in place. Pin in place before you drive it all the way down, so that you don't pass and then have to fight it in and figure it out. All right, push this over. Crazy, are you serious? Be diligent and careful when doing that, because you definitely don't want to break it. All right. Now I'll see if I can just remember exactly how it goes back together. I have to watch my own video. Okay. So I remember how it goes back together. I can't believe I just did that. Did it backwards. There's your pin, there's your notch. And then there's that flat part on the shaft. That, my friends, is the side you put the gear on, where it's notched out on the shaft up top there. And we'll chalk that one up as, oops. That's how we're going to do that one. It's a dry, boring video. But I'm not trying to be Mr. Excitement right now. I'm just trying to be helpful. Not a lot of people understand how to take something apart and put it back together. But that's what's up. All right, got her back together. Brand new gear going on. All right, let's get on to the motor, because that is what needs to happen now. So yeah, this is definitely not a, oh man, I don't even know if I want to switch out. I know this motor runs better than this. What's in this right now is a Traxxas reverse turn 550. You can put some juice to it, is why it's in here, and that's why we put it in here, is because the other motor fried. So this will take a 3-cell LiPo, 11 point something volts. It didn't overheat, it kept going. So let's go ahead and pop off the gear first, and to do that we need our Allen wrench back, because I'm not doing it with the drill. Break the tip off the Allen wrench, or worse, make me have to spend money. So this rear end is actually notched out. I mean, the motor housing here, this motor mount, it's notched out so your Allen wrench can go right to the nut. So you don't have to put an angle on it. And when you put an angle on it, it'll strip it out. It'll strip it out real quick. So good thing to see there. So let's go ahead and loosen it. You don't have to take it all the way off, just loosen it. Gear comes right out. Okay, and then on the motor itself, there's 2 screws parallel. Go ahead and take those out. And then the holes where these screws go are elongated, and so you can adjust your slack on your motor so that you're not putting too much pressure on your spur gear, because if you put too much pressure on the spur gear, the car won't work right. It'll overheat, it'll break down essentially. So definitely pay attention to that portion of this video, because if you don't, you're gonna mess something up. Like that. And this thing got dirt on it. I'm done with dirt tracks. Unless it's good clay compaction, no dust, I'm done. I can't handle all the debris going into my electronics and costing money, because that's all it is. It just destroys stuff. Oh, somebody trying to come in the shop. It's our buddy Corinne, my daughter. She wants to come in here and see what's up. Say hi to everybody, Corinne.
I didn't know you were doing a video actually, but hi.
All right.
So, is this one about the red cat?
Yes, the red cat. We've done the spur gear. Now we're taking out, not cutting the wires, yo. There's a zip tie holding the wires together so they don't flop around inside the car. So you want, if you got one of those strapped around the wiring, you definitely want to get it out of there so you can unplug the motor and get it out of your way. Come on. Okay, remember what's going on. So on this car, because it's a reverse turn, we reverse the wires on the motor, switching the hot to positive and the positive to negative, because it was a reverse turn. And if you hook it up backwards, it gets where you need it to be. And that is a tank of a motor. Traxxas makes good motors. You run a brush motor through water, it doesn't matter who makes it, you're running into another problem. All right, so we got all this stuff done. The table is a mess. Take a moment, understand what you're doing. First thing we're going to do is install the motor to this motor mount, and we're going to get that ready for the spur gear to attach. We get the spur gear reattached, we're going to put it back on the car. We're going to put in the ring gear, and then we're going to figure out why that pin in that pinion gear slipped, because that was weird. All right, so you grab up your motor mount, and you know this one's pretty dirty. And again, this is a part of maintaining your RC. No matter how much you spend on it or whatnot, if you're in it for the long haul, you definitely want to knock all the dirt you can out, because it just causes, it's a mechanical object and it's going to cause problems. Will you get me the roll of paper towels, please? In the laundry, go in the laundry room.
Okay.
And I just have a spray bottle with soap and water, and that's all I use. So, soapy water.
I gotta look like a baby mommy.
Alright.
You're gonna have to bring cookies too, okay?
Yeah.
So wait, what are you washing off?
I'm cleaning the dirt off of this motor mount. That is weird.
What?
It's just, I don't like the dirt being all over our cars like this. It's.
Well,
I know they're made
does
for
happen.
having fun, you know, going off road and everything. It's cool, yeah. But if you saw the dust that comes off the track we had, it.
Wait, have you shown how the track looks now?
Yeah, I showed in an earlier post or video, whatever you want to call it.
This is.
So you'll notice that the motor mount here has a metal back plate and then nothing on the other side. Okay, so the metal is the side that the motor is going to go up against.
This is the longest video yet. 45 minutes right now.
Yeah, we're doing it slow and steady. Is it really that long already?
Yeah. Do you see the time on the camera?
46. Will that upload?
Yeah. Over like a day.
Oh, that's why they're always short videos on YouTube.
Yeah. Sometimes it takes up to 3 days to upload. There's 2-hour-long videos, 8-hour-long videos.
Wow.
Like
I had no
music
clue.
videos. And
Come
they
on, where you
upload.
at? So, get the screw through the hole a little bit. Line it up with the mounting hole on your motor. And then find the, before you tighten it down, find the other motor mounting position for the screw to go into. All right, because if you don't, you're fighting against yourself. So it's right here.
Wait, have we done a video about the Horizon Hobby car?
Yes.
Like a driving video?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I know.
We're gonna everything's coming. All the parts are coming for our broken RCs, and we're gonna do a bunch of videos. You know, like putting the new parts in. So we got a Horizon. We're gonna put the parts in it, just like this video here.
I didn't know this was optional. You could take this on and
If
off.
you want to learn, watch the video. If you don't want to learn, then don't watch this video.
Looks like you're having trouble putting that screw.
Well, I mean, there's the space you got to look in between right there for the screw hole. I mean, it's irritating. It's like working on a... I gotta tight quick. What's going on?
Okay, well, I'm gonna go. I'll probably come back in a little while.
I don't know if we can use these screws on this motor, man. I think they're hitting the magnet on the inside. We'll have to, that's exactly what that is. So the redcat screws for this motor are too long. So I'm going to throw these ones in the garbage. I'm just playing. I'm going to take these ones back out, and I have to get some screws that will fit. Bear with me, I guess. I could pause this video and leave you out of the fun of finding 2 screws in this mess. Well, it's not a mess, but I still got to find the 2 screws. And that's okay. I got this. And then, you know, save those, because when you put a bigger motor in, you know, brushless is what's going to go into this car. Actually, the brushless that I got coming for this car is a replacement one for this one. And this is going in the Horizon car as well.
Hey, Dad.
Oh, it's a BL motor. 3650, 4-pole, 39 kV, 3900 kV, excuse me.
Dad.
So in here. What?
We gotta get her cage in so
All
the
right.
dogs could go out.
All right. Well, we are going to pause the video because my daughter's rabbit has to come in from outside so it doesn't suffer from anything. So bear with me. Magic, I'm back. Look at that. Okay. This is why I keep my screws in.
Did you get that from our old neighbor?
When I bought that box full of RC stuff from him. Yeah.
That's a lot of screws.
It is. But saving some old screws doesn't screw you in the end. All right. So we're looking for shorter. And what do I have in here? Anything? Please just give me something. I think I got it. Now the dimensions of the screws don't. I want to say don't matter, but I'm not gonna quote. Don't quote me on that yet. Not yet. Let me think about this. That goes on there. Where's our other cover? Right there. Cover. Like this. Yeah, we're good. All right, let's see if these will work. Nope. Uh-oh. We might not be putting this motor in this car. That'll suck. Did everything... Nothing. Where's my motor? This really sucks. Ew. Let's hope this works, because I got two of these. Again, it's a daunting task to get this together because of the work area being so tiny. So I know that you don't, on the redcat, you don't want your motor's wires hitting the back of your box that protects your ESC, because there's a little screw that goes into that box, and if it hits one of your wires and it just rattles on there, it's going to break your car. So know that. All right. Cross your fingers, man. We're good. Okay. The other one. Moving right along, actually. Wow, that's weird. That screw is different. Boring. I'm sorry, it's dry and boring. I could put on some music next time. Just don't want to stop and go get a radio. Make sure they're in there good, and it's good to use Loctite. But this is not horsepower, so I'm not stressing on that with this. Clean this gear off. It's really, really dirty. So after watching everybody's videos on how to do, and you know, the fast forwarding videos are irritating because you're like, what did he do? Slow it down, stop, pause. You know, and I'm not going to be about that. I don't care if it takes a week to download shit. It's just show me what I need to show me. Let's get it over with. Beautiful, man. Turn your motor so the flat side, the flanged side, is facing where you're going to put your Allen wrench and your lock screw. Just snug that, because you might have to work on that again later. Alright, so this guy. So I know this bearing went in here. Yeah. Might have forgotten how to put this back together. So I know this rides out. I had to check myself just now. See that? So it goes like that. I'm pretty sure this and no. All right, this is where you get your conundrum. I'm sitting here trying to figure out I wasn't paying attention myself. Got interrupted. I know which way this piece is supposed to sit. It's supposed to sit inside of the car. And then we had two ball bearings. One on the inside. And one on the outside. So there's two All right. So now this goes back in the car. Oh wait, no, we gotta put this piece on before we do that. Excuse me. All right, so we're putting this guy back on. Grab that. The Allen screw goes to the flange side of the shaft. Turn it in the right direction. Slide it back in place. Now you can push it on too far and that'll cause you a problem, so make sure you get it flush where it needs to be. That's crazy movement. Why is it such crazy movement? Aha, I know why. Anyways, guys, there we go. Make sure your drive line is in the front diff, and then put it to the rear one. And then the front one wants to fall out. In there. Pull it all down into place. Alright, so your spur gear is going to move back and forth inside that housing. Don't let that deter you in the way you're thinking, like it did me for a minute there. Then the reason why is because it's actually kept in place by the gear when you slide it in to place, like so. The gear, the back of the gear is riding. That washer's got to be in the wrong spot. Yeah. So this little washer goes on the outside of you're gonna ride like that. Come on. This is weird. There. There. Okay. Done fighting with this. I'm going to put the 2 screws back in on the bottom of this mount. Well, there's 3, excuse me. This way it lines up where it needs to sit, so I'm not having to fight this little thing. And see, I swear I've lost a screw. No. These are the motor screws. These are the screws I need. Wow. Talk about losing it, man. There should be 3 of them. There they are. Okay. You want to do these by hand because the drill will over tighten them, strip them out. So and come over to the other side. It's got pinholes in the bottom so that you can line it up. It's got little dowels that hold the motor mount where it needs to be held. So you want to make sure you're lining up. They don't go all the way through the pan. They just sit on top in there. Go ahead and put the last one in too. Alright, so that's the motor mount, spare gear mount, back in. And we're only an hour and 6 minutes into this. That's crazy. It doesn't feel like it's taken that long, but it is. Alright, so that portion is done. Now, do I do a cliffhanger on you guys and say, hey, part 2 tomorrow? No. Let's just get this done. Let's get her back on track. This is one of my favorite things to say. Back on track. So you'll notice that if you've done it the way I've been doing it, you'll notice that the yeah, we're good. I don't even have to check it. I mean, it's good. Just go in here. Leaving just enough room for our pin. This little pin right here next to your pinion gear goes back in the axle or in the drive shaft here. Make sure you put it in there and then turn the drive shaft flat. That way it's in there all the way. Something I've been noticing with this redcat is that the pins in this drive shaft want to keep freaking coming out. It's a nuisance. Alright, that's in. Now this appears to be a problem. Some weird short. There's no excuse for that thing to pop out of there. The pinion gear is intact. I don't know why it came out. That's why. Some weird washer on this thing. Or is that the back of the gear? Is it worn that bad? Wow. Yeah, guys, that's the back of the gear. Let's see if I can fix that. That thing spun around that pin for a minute. Almost feel like I need to get the Dremel on this. That's crazy. All right, put the pinion gear back in. Grab your rear diff. If you put it in backwards, it'll be hilarious because it's not gonna work right. And there's enough room in this box to put it in backwards. So make sure you got the back of the car on your left side, ring gear. The teeth face the other gear. And drops back in there like so. It's a weird setup. Okay. So now we're going to close it up. So just start moving yourself in reverse. I'm pretty sure this is my first piece. Oh, this is a cooling blade for your motor, whether it's brushless or brushed. It's good to have it on. So always make sure you got it. You have fan holes though, don't obstruct those. If your piece is obstructing it, I suggest you get a smaller one. And in this case, I'm pretty sure this 20 turn is the same size as this. So no. So we'll leave this cooler off just for the time being. I don't know if I'll notch it out with the Dremel or if I will leave it intact at this point and just get a smaller one. I'll probably just get a smaller one. They're cheap. But then again, this is getting the brushless motor, so it doesn't freaking matter. I'm basically doing this just for you guys because when the brushless motor comes, I gotta do this again. Gotta take it all the way back apart. See, I put those screws right there, and they were there when I needed them. That, son. Dang. Going fast as I can, man. You gotta bear with me a little bit. There we go. It's a marathon. How fast can you turn your screwdriver? Fast enough to strip the hole out. Bang. And then came something else. What else do we got to do? We got to put that. And what am I missing? This doesn't even go to this car. This goes to that car. Don't keep your other car stuff on the table that you're working on. I'll take that advice myself a couple of times. All right, so we got that going. And then the other screws are in this cover here. Remember, we put all our screws back where they go. So when we take it and we set it back in place, the only thing I can see, well, is nothing. There's nothing going to get in the way of that. So go ahead and set your plate back in where it goes. You're going to have to move your shock tower a little bit. Just a little bit, though. You don't have to bend it. What is going on? Messing up, man. I'm gonna take this freaking thing off. It's in my way. So I'm taking the shock, or the top, the body cover mount off. It's in my way. I can't see what's going on. You may or may not have to take it off, but I'll tell you this. I'm ending this video in about 10 minutes, and the rest of the stuff can wait. Let's see if I can get this thing back together in 10 minutes. And actually, in retrospect, you guys pretty much well got it at this point. If you're putting it back together, then you know that you only have a couple of things left to do. You've got it set out on your table the way it needs to be set out, so you should be golden at this point and able to do the rest of the build yourself. There's little plastic spacers underneath that metal bracket are a pain in the neck. You gotta put a little love on them to get them to stop spinning around. Remember Karate Kid? Like doing it one way. You want to bring the drill out at this point and just start drilling these things in, because it's taken so long and it's time consuming. It's an hour and 17 minutes time consuming on us right now. And I see why doctors get paid, because it's crazy. Us mechanics, I built somebody's car, I get ripped off. They want a deal, want a bargain. Like the people overseas that you deal with in their little stores where you buy your car parts on eBay. Oh, I give you $5 for your $60 purchase, and you fix the problem yourself. No, give me my money.
Hey, Dad. This is a 1 hour and 20-minute video already.
Yeah, we've stated that.
It's gonna be a movie for everyone who watches it.
Hey, if that's what they need. There's no real editing other than speeding it up and doing a voiceover.
Yeah, but Lawrence really isn't doing it, but it's like...
Might do that, and then you'll just see, you won't even know what I'm saying to you, and you're like, what's he doing? Okay, that's all together, and go ahead and put this back on. So it's right there, and I can grab it. I said 10 minutes, so we got a couple minutes left here. If I can just get the
storage is gonna run out on the camera.
I know, we're gonna run out of freaking storage room.
And it's just gonna stop automatically.
Alright, so let's get these guys back in our drive shafts.
If it does just stop automatically, it's because we ran out of storage.
Yeah, if this video dead ends on us, hopefully you got enough out of it, because I know I have, just bringing you along with doing the job, you know? So that if you have problems with your first RC or whatever, or your redcat that you tore apart. And this baseline goes for any similar models to this. It's not just this redcat blackout. It could be a low C rear end that's similar, and it's the same step that you take. You take these steps to make sure you're doing it right, and to make sure you're not screwing up things and losing things. And I think the biggest thing I've ran into is just losing little parts and screws, because if you're not paying attention, like that one just flew over there off the tip of the screwdriver. If you're not paying attention, you're losing your stuff. And having it organized and laid out in front of you makes it way easier. This would take longer if it wasn't organized in here. And then another pin. We'll do the other side. Grab the drive shaft. Drive shaft goes back in. Hub. Swing her over.
Are you almost done with the video?
Getting there. I'm just trying to get a couple more things on, and we'll be done.
I'm surprised.
I think all I'm gonna do for you guys with the video is put the shock back on. The cross member that goes back in the car, it's self-explanatory. There's 6 holes. There's 2 parallel and 4 on the horizontal. So you got 2 up front, 2 in the back, 2 on the side. You got that. You made it this far, you got it. I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm gonna get the shocks hooked back up. We'll hook the battery up to it, and we will spin it around the floor real quick, because we like.
But we are gonna have to do it outside on like the pavement because the bunny is in here.
All right, we'll take it out on the pavement. Oh, your pitman arms. Don't forget to hook those back up, guys. Or those little arms that we popped off that pull the wheels straight. Don't turn them. And try to adjust them if you don't know what they're about, because then you'll run into another problem. There's another big don't that I'm actually going to do in a second. I'm going to run it without the top on it. You really don't want to do that. You grind off these body mounts, and your wires, they hit the ground, you're getting tore apart. You should always run your top on.
How come the tiniest RC car is on top of the biggest RC car?
I'm going to build a trailer. I just thought about it. That thing would look sick going out on track on a trailer. Like,
what?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, because it's an off-road buggy on a 4-wheel drive.
Wait, you're gonna build a trailer for that to sit on?
On the back side, yeah.
For the big one to pull it?
Yeah.
Why?
Like when we go to the park to drive it or bring it out on the track, it'll just be legit.
So a big car pulling a little car?
Well, that in real life, my truck would be hauling something like that behind it in real life.
Yeah.
Right?
It's getting dark, so we're gonna have to hurry up the video so they can.
All right, Redcat RC right there, buddy. Now, the way I think of wiring, okay, black and blue. You know, just think of a bruise, black and blue. Black and blue go together. And then red and yellow, just like the snake. Red and yellow, you're a good fellow.
Wait,
that's
that's
positive.
how it goes?
Yeah.
I
think, I don't know exactly how
I'm
that
pretty
goes.
sure red and yellow means that you're
A dead fellow?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Lawrence wrote a song about it, so I don't know.
All right. Give me a 2-cell lipo. And then we need a...
Wait, one of these?
Yes.
These?
No, the big one right there.
Oh.
No. Yep. And then we need a... we need a clip. Pin. Where's all that?
They're right there.
Uh-huh.
All
All right. So, I'm going to put this 4500 in here, man. This is 11.1 volt. I don't recommend you doing this because you might smoke something in the stock
Why you
car.
put this one in? I'm pretty sure this one goes with it.
Because I'm taking it for a spin, not for a crawl.
But
This has Superman powers.
isn't this the original battery?
Yeah.
The side?
So yeah, we're
This
not
seems
you know, maybe I like spending money. I don't know.
Um,
But it's definitely going in this car.
what if that breaks the car?
Then we'll fix it. Just like we just now did. Done. We done it.
I don't think that's how you say it, but okay.
Well, we done it. We done did it.
Here, I'll grab
I heard that phrase. Somebody in the medical field, doctor, on his note said, "I done did it."
Oh, now you're gonna keep that phrase?
I done did it. Somebody down south somewhere. I'm surprised it didn't go viral. All right. You know what helps is plug the battery in.
Forgot to do that?
Just for a second here.
How
Turn
come
the car on. And then we're going to pick up camera. Grab controller up.
Oh, we have an issue. Cameras don't turn around when they're on video, so I'm just gonna have to hold it like that.
Yeah, so come on. Go out front here, there's a light.
Forgot this camera didn't do that.
Work good.
1 second, let me make sure this will work here. Can this be set up on the big car?
Just hold it.
What, like that? You got it right there. That's pretty fast.
You got a problem though. Yep. Front wheel drive only.
Wait, is this getting on camera? Sorry if I'm not getting this on camera that good. Hey, wait, stop driving the car. Okay, now you can.
All right, you guys.
That's it for the
RC
video.
on track. Redcat rebuild. Spur gear is nice and complete. Different motor in there. Nice and complete. The pinion gear, I always saw that was chewed up. And it has to be replaced. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
RC on track. Like, share, and subscribe.
Bye.